Did you know that this niche, the leather niche, is over $400 billion in 2025, and it's actually expected to be closer to $600 billion by 2029. That means that this particular niche, the leather niche, is a growing, expanding niche. And we've been doing a bit of research. We've been reviewing different sites and brands and looking at their e-com sites. What are they doing to be successful? Whether they're just getting started or they're really successful over a long, sustained period of time. This particular site that I found, wpstandard.com, they've been around from different bits of research for nearly 2 decades. I believe it was like 2009. So what they're doing is working, and walking through the site from a strategy point of view, looking at how they're doing it, it allows us as e-commerce brand owners and ultimately you're operating and building your own brand, is looking at what strategies are working. Let's have a conversation about those strategies, what philosophies and principles you can then adopt into your own business. Super exciting. Give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you've got any comments while we go through this, any strategies that you think about, get in the comments, share down below, and I'll answer and I'll communicate and comment back in future videos. So let me first and foremost, I'm going to just refresh the page so we can see what happens from a visitor. So a couple of things have all happened straight at once. First and foremost, you can see that background image. That background image was like a bit of a fade in, which means that something is changing. Great. You can also see that this Labor Day sale is also animating at the top. Fundamentally, it's so important to hook and capture the visitor within seconds, right? As soon as they land, are they in the right place? Why should they care? And why should they trust you? Do they feel comfortable straight away that, okay, this is my attention, this is what I was looking for? And there's a number of things that this brand is doing so well straight away. They've got that Labor Day sale. That psychologically shares with the visitor that this is an up-to-date site, that this is in real time. One of the really powerful strategies that you can use, and you'll think about this as you go around your travels on where you do your own purchasing. A lot of sites, whether it's Amazon or another type of e-com store, or Walmart, Target, whatever it might be, they work in real time. If it's the festive period, they'll have a sale on the festive period. If it's Halloween, if it's New Year, if it's Valentine's Day, if it's summer, right, a season change. Think about the dates and the calendar on what is happening, and then the fact that it's Labor Day, they've got a 20% site off site wide. This tells the user straight away, okay, I can see that it's animating. I can see that it's to do with leather. Now, the name itself, like WP Standard, I wouldn't know that that was leather. I was just doing a search for leather stores. But from the name, okay, that's not too clear. But as soon as it loads up, I can see there's a bag, it's leather. So that's really, really cool. The next thing, I'm just going to scroll down here. So here's one of the recommendations that I think about. So can you see as it loads, this is what they call above the fold. Can you see as I've scrolled down, you can see here, this is now just underneath the fold. What I would do if I was thinking about your own, site, as we've gone into darkness here, is have those things above the fold. Because what you want to do is you want to encourage engagement with your site. And what I mean by engagement is obviously you want to sell for sure, but in the process of getting towards the sale, you're going to be more likely to get somebody to buy if they are interacting with the site. And one of those things could be ultimately scrolling down, right? If you think about you want to scroll, but if there's nothing really encouraging to scroll, you want to create a bit of curiosity. So you can see this bit here. You can see countdown is on, Labor Day sale. There's a countdown. You can see it says shop the sale. You can see bestsellers. These are fan favorites. You can't go wrong here. What I would do is I would have just moved this banner up a little bit. Yeah, move this banner. It's great images, love it. But move that up a little bit, and then you kind of have this. If that was all, if the hero image was like a little bit smaller, it would still show the lady, it still show the bag, but this now starts to go, okay, I can see it's Labor Day, I know it's real time, I know I'm in the right place, I can see it's leather, and bestsellers, these are fan favorites, you can't go wrong here. I want to know more, I want to engage. There is a bit of white space here, but with a little bit of formatting and kind of working out, you should be able to get it in. If you think of like an Amazon, when you go onto it, they're using absolutely everything. There's no space at all. They're maximizing screen. So, okay, so that's the kind of the first thing. Something for you to comment on. What's your thoughts on that? The next thing is bestsellers. Okay, I'm now interested. These are fan favorites. Okay, so clearly bag. Then there's a grumpy leather slippers. Tote. You've got this scroll feature here. I would probably consider having like a small little animated scroll, not fast, but really really small and really slow. Sorry, because these are bestsellers, amazing. But I might have been interested in this wine toe. So if it comes into shot a little bit, it creates that curiosity. You can see it's a little bit here anyway, so I'm curious to see what's on that side. Love what they're doing. It's a good banner. Great images. Really really powerful images. A couple of things that I would think about is when I kind of explore this is I would consider having some form of sort of social proof, sales proof. Like if these are bestsellers, then put like your customer reviews, like at least the star rating. These are 4 out of 5 or 100 units sold in the last 24 hours. Do you know it creates that? It creates that credibility. It validates that why these are bestsellers. Then the credibility and the trust that look, all these customers are really enjoying this. It's great, but that can make a difference, a percentage difference in the optimization. And percentage over potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue, you're now talking thousands of dollars, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars if you really go to a big kind of scale. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. Loving this. Love the clearly got a new release. Fantastic. I would have maybe had some type of bigger banner here, like it's Labor Day sale, but there's a new release as well. Check out the new range. I'm just going to quickly click onto this just to see what. Okay, so this is the new range, right? Okay. Few things that are happening here is. I love the fact that it's got the images. That's amazing. Instead of one big image, I can see it all now fully. I love the fact that it's got the reviews. Can you see what I'm saying? Like the reviews, 97 reviews. I can see it's 4.5 stars. Now, if that was on the home page, imagine how powerful that would be, right? Imagine how amazing that would be. For me, when I look from a customer psychological point of view, if these clearly have got 97 reviews, 4.5 stars, I'm sure they've probably, look at all these comments. You can even see they've actually got some kind of credibility here. This for sure I would put on the homepage. It might be on the homepage. Let's scroll down the homepage a little bit more and see what happens here. Let's get personalized. Tote bags. Loving the quality of these images. Really, really powerful. History preserved. Love the history. And then even press log. So I would say when somebody is going onto your website, if you've got some accreditation, if you've got some press, if you've been on press releases, if you've been in news articles, that Vogue, Men's Health, right? These are brands that people identify with. So that should be, I would say, closer up as well. Even you could have some accreditations up here. You could even have Vogue and press, as seen in Vogue. You could even really show, because psychologically all this is happening all at once. It's like, am I in the right place? Is this for me? Are you attracting my attention? Why should I trust you? And all those things, components really play in, right? It's the animation, the grabbing the attention, the quality of the images, the history. When it was the quality, you can see they're doing amazing things here. This is just a brain dump as we go through these types of videos, but they're doing amazing. But it can make a difference for sure. Newsletter. I typically don't like newsletters all that much. It'd be interesting to know how many people actually put their email address in. I always like giving something of like an ethical bribe per se, an ethical giveaway. Like, you want to encourage somebody to actually put a newsletter in from an email perspective. So email's still extremely powerful. You've got the chances are this brand has potentially hundreds of thousands of emails of buyers. Amazing. But how many newsletter emails have they got? Be interesting to know. The strategy in trying to get people on that, people need to be warmed up on whether they want to purchase from you, right? So if they're not ready to buy and then they've just bounced, they're maybe never going to hear from you again. So the only way to do that is through then email marketing and catch up with them. Now they've got social media, LinkedIn, but if you don't follow them on LinkedIn, the only way that they can follow up with you is through email. So you want to close the gap on what strategies can you use, philosophies to encourage that email address. Of course, the number one priority is to get the sale, 100%. But if you're not going to get the sale, then the next best thing would be just to get an email address. So that's just a couple of kind of thoughts on that. Let's dig into what it looks like when I'm actually on here. So reviews again, I love the fact that it's got different payment plans and different payment options. Very, very powerful. More payment options, giving people that ability to pay a little bit more, as I keep waving to get these lights back on. Buy with the Passport wallet, really good. A bit of an order bump. You can see, having a strategy to increase the order cart value will be very beneficial. Ultimately, if you've got customers spending, let's say, $160, amazing, on average, that's great. But what difference would it make to the business or the brand if you could get to $260? So therefore, giving options, right, buy with the Passport wallet, somebody, if that wasn't there, all they could purchase is $168. But because it is there, that can now bump up above $200. So I love that strategy. Really, really good. Quick ads, really like that. Accreditation verified, really love that. I think it needs to be definitely a little bit more surfaced. And then you see some of these people here, Jen, Amber, you can see all these. Just what I needed and wanted. Excellent quality, beautiful bag. I would have them all over. These are real verified customers. I would share them on social media, which they may have done. I would put them on the homepage. I would be sending out emails. Look what this customer said. Let's click onto the social media. So that's one of the things. Another thing that amazing Instagram for sure, 25,000 followers. But can you see it's taken me away from the site? What I would recommend is you always do this to open in a new tab. So you're not away from the site, but you can go onto the Instagram. Because ultimately, what's the goal of the Instagram? To get me back on the site. So I'm like going into you're going into a bit of a circle here. You're getting people away from your site to bring them back to your site. So just open a new tab. That's just one of the things, because the key is to bring people to your website. But once they're on your website, keep them on the website, because that's where they can exchange and present value and do an order, right? That's where you're going to exchange the value. They're going to purchase and you're going to ship. Instagram's looking great. You can see great quality images. Really, really good. I'll definitely consider putting more reels. I don't know how many reels that they've got. I'm not signed into Instagram right now, so definitely put a little bit more reels in there that you can maybe repurpose for like a TikTok, a YouTube. Short form is very, very powerful. Video reels, video, TikToks and shorts. Their reach is much more on the social media platforms nowadays. So images are fantastic and they're clearly getting reach. I mean, you can see it's 364, 271. Amazing, but it's just an image. So maybe having some more reels, more carousels would make a difference for sure. I would maybe put some icons on here. It's fine, it's just a bit blank, but that's maybe what it's supposed to be, right? It's amazing. It's doing really, really well, this brand. Let's go on back. Let's go on back to their site. Can you see I was trying to figure out how to get back to the site then? So let's go to order cart, the order cart, and see what's happening here. So eligible for flat rate shipping, fantastic. There's the quick buy. Is there another option? Passport wallet, loving that. I would maybe even try to get this to be a little bit more animated here as well, because if you didn't know you can click on these, I might not, maybe somebody's not interested in the small wallet card, but they're interested in the passport wallet, or they're interested in the zip around wallet. So having that be a little bit more in awareness would be good. Let me click onto the checkout. Checkout's looking good. Branded, different options. Some people may not check out if there's not PayPal. So having the PayPal, having the Google Pay, having Apple Pays, having as many different ways to purchase, it will just give that, will solidify. You can see order discount is automatically gone on. Amazing. People then can see, they don't have to click on anything. So that's really, really useful from the brand, because somebody may click on and then go, I ain't got my discount. What's my discount code? Okay, I need to try finding the discount code. But if I don't know the discount code, it's become too difficult and you want to just straight line it. Does that make sense? Let me have a quick look on the Amazon and let's have a look if they're on Amazon or not. Can't see anything here. So I would definitely be looking at the Amazon marketplace, other marketplaces for sure, because there's a big demand out on Amazon. And this particular brand, WP Standard, has been around for a long time. Whether they've trademarked this, I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look. Our story. Great to see some great historical photos. Be good to have a bit of a date here. I embarked on my journey. Great founder. Like, this is great. Really, really fantastic. What they've done is great. There's always just those little strategies and philosophies that can just make that difference. Could make a 10% difference, 20% difference. And what does that mean when you've got a huge niche like this, when there's an industry as large as this, getting up towards kind of like the 800 billion by 2034. But then it also said, to 600 billion by 2029. So this is going to double in the next 10 years. And that optimization can make a huge difference. Could be vast. Give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. My name's Kev from Systemized Fulfillment and everything that we do part of e-commerce. If you're interested in any type of fulfillment, check us out at Systemized Fulfillment. We're here to help and fulfill the orders and also help in optimizing your brand. So my name's Kev, inspiring you every single day to keep taking massive action.